Hey, Eli here, and here's 5 lessons from Mount Everest or Mount Everest Base Camp. This is allspiritualplaces.com, so thank you so much for watching. And I was fortunate enough to travel to Tibet and travel all through Tibet, and one of the places that I got to visit was Everest Base Camp. And it's just this crazy place, just vastly open and expansive, and just this mountain, this giant mountain looming in front of you, just showing off its majestic ways. And here you are, just this little person staring in awe at this thing. And one of the first lessons I want to say is breathe, right? Because you're up there, the air is so thin because the altitude's so high, and it's just hard to breathe. I tried walking closer to the mountain. Granted, we were so far away that there was no way I was actually gonna get there, but still, I tried walking closer, and it took me a good 30 seconds to a minute to walk probably like 10 meters, and I lost my breath. It was so hard, and my head started pounding because of the lack of oxygen. So the first lesson is to breathe, and this is so important for so many reasons. Is because a lot of times we forget to breathe. We get so caught up in what's happening today, that in this moment, that we don't think about our breath. We remove ourselves from our breath, and it's a good thing that's automatic, because most people might not ever do it if they had to be consciously aware of it. But by being consciously aware of it, you get to control your focus. You get to open and you get to expand, just like at Everest Base Camp with this whole vastness in front of you. Your breath can be so huge in your everyday life in terms of how you feel, whether it's calm, whether it's relaxed, whether it's on edge, whether it's angry, tired, whatnot. Your breath can control all of that, right? And I don't know if you heard, Wim Hof has this thing, he's known as the Iceman. He controls his breath to go to sub-zero temperatures in water and swim in water and stay there, and he teaches people how to do that, to control your breath. So that's number 1, is breathing. Remember to breathe. Lesson 2 is this stillness, this calmness. You can take this with you anywhere. You can tap into this stillness, and it builds up on top of the breath, right? Because once you learn how to breathe properly, once you focus on your breath, you can calm yourself down. You can come into this stillness, whether it's a meditative state or whether it's an active state. You can still come into this level of flow, this stillness, this expansionness that is within you. You can open up and tap into this and allow this to flow to you. Lesson 3, be in awe, be in wonder. When I stood in front of Mount Everest, when I was at the base camp with this black little tent that we slept in, and this openness and no one around, basically, it was just filled with awe and wonder. How can something like this exist in this world? How has this come into creation? What made this? Right? And I know the whole scientific definition of the tectonic plates coming together and forming mountains and everything like that, but that's beyond this, right? Because at one stage there was nothing in existence, and now there's this. Think about how crazy that is, and just be in awe and wonder of all the possibilities of existence, all the avenues that can possibly happen for you, to benefit you. And this is where the awe and wonder come from. If there's something as magnificent as Everest that can loom in front of you, if there's something as magnificent as modern architecture that can loom in front of you, what else can be for you? What else can loom in front of you? What else can happen to you and uplift you in the ways that you want to be uplifted and supported? And that is just mind-blowing. Lesson 4, always be thankful for what you have. At Everest Base Camp, they sold cans of oxygen. Now, well, maybe not directly at it, but going up, you can buy cans of oxygen. And some Chinese tourists, they stock up on this and they breathe these cans of oxygen, air in a can. Who would have thought that that's a very successful and lucrative business? Not me, for sure. And like that, just having this air, this level of oxygen to breathe, how amazing is that? How thankful are you for that you can have this gift, that you can do this thing automatically, and if you are conscious of it and aware of it, you can even use it to level up to your advantage. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to leave your room. You don't have to go out into the world. All you have to do is just sit there and breathe. So be thankful that you have the opportunity to have a moment for yourself. Even if you just escape to the toilet for a few minutes, you can have a moment to yourself. Be thankful for what else is around, for the heat, for the clothing that you have, because it was freezing up there. And I wore all my clothes. I had a hat on. I slept in 2 sleeping bags with 2 hot water bottles at my feet and one near my head, and the sleeping bag covered over my head, and I couldn't breathe. Well, I could barely breathe. And it was so cold, and just to roll over on my side took so much energy. And as soon as we got to a lower altitude where I could breathe again, can you imagine how thankful I was that I could actually get a good night's sleep, that I didn't have this altitude headache, and that I could walk normally without having to stop and focus on breathing for a minute in order to take another 5 to 10 more steps. So be thankful for what you have. And in another video, I talk about gratitude journaling. I'll link that somewhere, and you can click on that and learn the proper way how to do a gratitude journal. And finally, lesson 5 is that there's so much beyond you, beyond what you see on this level. One of my favorite animals is the mantis shrimp, this prawn, and it's like little technicolored prawn. You'd think nothing of it, but this prawn, this guy has 4 color receptors in his eyes. And to put that in perspective, humans only have 3, and we see a multitude of colors, this great range of colors, right? But this little guy, this little creature has 4 of these color spheres, these color receptors. So imagine all the other things that this animal, this sea creature can see that we can't see. What is beyond you that exists that you can't tell? And just like this, staring at Mount Everest, the final lesson is that there's so much beyond me, that there's so much happening that is out of my control that will never even affect me. And the things that I have control over are minutia, right? The things that I really have control over, the things that you really have control over is how you feel in any given situation, how you interpret whatever experience happens to you. Whether you're triggered, whether you get angry, whether you're happy, whether you're laughing, you have control over your reactions to the experiences that you experience. And beyond that, it's time to just let go of all of that, because why bother putting that pressure on yourself when you can just let go, you can open, you can allow and receive whatever's happening for you for your highest benefit in order to best uplift you and to work out and to work your life out for you. And once you do that, once you surrender, a whole other world opens up to you, and then you can start to be in this flow. And we'll talk about that in another video. But for now, lesson 5, let go of control. Open, allow, surrender, and receive all that's coming to you for your highest benefit. So until next time, like, subscribe, share, comment, check out some of these other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.